All right. Hello and welcome to another. Hello and welcome to another edition of L.I.F.T Tutoring. Today we have something very special. We have attempted read aloud. Now I'm going to get my voice ready because this is going to be 8 minutes of non-stop reading. And when I say non-stop reading, I mean non-stop reading. So without any more explanation, let's read Horton Hears a Who. Now, for the majority of the time, I will be looking down, but I will put the actual book up over my shoulder for each page. So do not worry about that. You will still be able to get it, children. All right. Remember, reading can be fun, it can be creative, and you can read in many different voices and many different tones to make the story come alive, as you are about to see. Horton Hears a Who. Dr. Seuss. The G.O.A.T. On the 15th of May, in the jungle of Newell, in the heat of the day, in the cool of the pool, he was splashing, enjoying the jungle's great joys, when Horton the elephant heard a small noise. So Horton stopped splashing, he looked toward the sound. That's funny, thought Horton, there's no one around. Then he heard it again, just a very faint yelp, as if some tiny person were calling for help. I'll help you, said Horton, but who are you, where? He looked and he looked, he could see nothing there, but a small speck of dust blowing past through the air. I say, murmured Horton, I've never heard tell of a small speck of dust that is able to yell. So you know what I think? Why I think that there must be someone on top of that small speck of dust, some sort of creature of a very small size, too big to be seen by elephant's eyes. Some poor little person who's shaken with fear that he'll blow in the pool. He has no way to steer. I'll just have to save him, because after all, a person's a person, no matter how small. So gently and using the greatest of care, the elephant stretched his great trunk through the air, and he lifted the dust speck and carried it over and placed it down safe on a very soft floor. Hump, humped the voice towards the sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in the pouch said, hump too. But the speck so small as the head of a pin, a person on that, why there never has been. Believe me, said Horton, I tell you sincerely, my ears are quite clean and my eyes are quite clear. I know there's a person down there, and what's more, quite likely there's 2, even 3, even 4. Quite likely a family, for all that we know, a family with children just starting to grow. So please, said Horton, as a favor to me, try not to disturb them, just let them be. I think you're a fool, cried the sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in the pouch said, me too. You're the biggest playing fool in the jungle of Newell, and the kangaroos plunged in the cool of the pool. What terrible splashing, the elephant frowned. I can't let my small persons get drowned. I've got to protect them, I'm bigger than they. So he plucked up the clover and hustled away. Through the high jungle treetops, the news quickly spread. He talks to a dust speck, he's out of his head. Just look at him walk with that speck on that flower. And Horton walked worrying almost an hour. Should I put the speck down? Horton thought with alarm. If I do, these small persons may come to great harm. I can't put it down and I won't have to roll. A person's a person, no matter how small. When Horton stopped walking, the speck voice was talking. The voice was so faint he could just barely hear it. To speak up, please, said Horton, put his ear nearer. My friend, came the voice. You're a very fine friend. You've helped us folks on this dust speck no end. You've saved all our houses, all our ceilings, and our floors. You saved all our churches and our grocery stores. You mean, Horton gasped, you have buildings there too? Oh yes, piped the voice, we most certainly do. I know, called the voice, I'm too small to be seen, but I'm the mayor of a town that is friendly and clean. Our buildings to you would seem terribly small, but to us who are big, they are wonderfully tall. My town is called Whoville, for I am a who, and the who's are all grateful for you. Horton called back to the mayor of the town, you're safe now, don't worry, I won't let you down. But just as he spoke to the mayor of the speck, 3 big jungle monkeys climbed up Horton's neck. The Wickersham brothers came shouting, what rot? The elephants talking to who's who are not. They aren't who's, and they don't have a mayor, and we're gonna stop all this nonsense, so there. They snatched Horton's clover, they carried it off to a black-bottomed eagle named Black-Off, a mighty strong eagle, a very swift wing, and they said, will you kindly get rid of this thing? And before the elephant could even speak, the eagle flew off a flower on his beak. All that late afternoon and fair into the night, that black-bottomed blurred flapped his wings of light. Flight Horton chased after with groans over stones that tattered his toenails and battered his bones, and begged, please don't harm my little folks who have so much right to live as our bigger folks do. But far, far beyond, that eagle kept flapping, and over his shoulder called back, quick yapping, I'll fly the night through, I'm a bird, I don't mind, and I'll hide this tomorrow where you'll never find it. 6:56 the next morning he did it. It was sure a terrible place that he hid it. He let that small clover drop somewhere inside of a great patch of clovers 100 miles wide. Fine, that's near the bird, but I think he will fail. And he left with a flip of his black-bottomed tail. I'll find it, cried Horton. I'll find it a bust. I shall find my friends on a small speck of dust. And clover by clover with great care, he picked up and searched him and called, "Are you there?" Clover by clover, he found that one thing he sought was just not around. And by noon, poor old Horton felt more dead than alive. Had picked, searched, and piled up 9,005. My goodness. Then on through the afternoon, hour after hour, till they found them at last on the 3 millionth flower. My friends, cried the elephant, tell me, do tell, are you safe, are you sound, are you whole, are you well? Down on the speck came the voice of the mayor. We've really had trouble, much more than our share. When the black-bottomed birdie let go and we dropped, we landed so hard that our clocks have all stopped. Our teapots are broken, our rocking chair smashed, and our bicycle tires all blew up when we crashed. So Horton, please, pleaded the voice of the mayor, will you stick by whose while we're making repairs? Of course, Horton answered, of course I will stick. I'll stick by you folks through thin and thick. Humped the voice for almost 2 days, run wild and insisted on chatting with persons who never existed. Just carrying on in our peaceable jungle, we've had quite enough of your bellowing bungle. And I'm here to state, snapped the big kangaroo, that your nonsensical game is all through. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, me too. The help of the Wickersham brothers and dozens of Wickersham uncles, Wickersham cousins, and Wickersham in-laws who's I've engaged, you're going to be roped and you're gonna be caged. And for you to dust back hot, that we shall boil in a hot steaming kettle of hazelnut oil. Boil it, guys, Horton. Oh, that you can't do. It's full of persons. They'll prove it to you. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Ware, called Horton, Mr. Mayor. You've got to prove now that you really are there. So call a big meeting, get everyone out. Make every who holler, make every who shout. Make every who scream. If you don't, every who is going to end up in hazelnut stew. Down on the dust speck, scared little mayor, quick called a big meeting in the Hoover Town Square. People cried loudly. They cried out in fear. We are here, we are here, we are here, we are here. The elephant smiled, that was clear as a bell. You kangaroos surely heard that very well. All I heard snapped the big kangaroo was a breeze and the faint sound of wind through the far distant trees. I heard no small voice, and you didn't either. The young kangaroo in her pouch said, me neither. Grab him, they shouted in the cage, big dope. Lasso his stomach with 10 miles of rope. Tie the knots tight so he'll never shake loose. Then dunk that dumb speck in the hazelnut juice. Horton fought back with great vigor and vim, but the Wickersham gang was too many for him. They beat him, they mauled him, they started to haul him into his cage. But he managed to call to the mayor, don't give up, I believe in you all. A person's a person no matter how small. And your very small persons will not have to die if you make yourself heard, so come on and try. Mayor grabbed a tom-tom, he started to smack it. And all over Whoville they whooped up a racket. They rattled tin kettles, they beat on brass pans, on garbage pail bags and old cranberry cans. They blew on bazookas and blasted great toots on clarinets, oomps and booms and the flutes. Great gusts of loud racket rang high through the air. They rattled and shook the whole sky, and the mayor called up through the howling mad hullabaloo. Hey, Horton, how's this? Is our sound coming through? Horton called back, I can hear you just fine, but the kangaroo's ears are not strong as mine. They don't hear a thing. Are you sure all your boys are doing their best, are making all the noise? Are you sure every who and whoville is working? Quick, look through your town. Is there anyone shirking? Town rushed the mayor from the east to the west, but everyone seemed to be doing his best. Everyone seemed to be yapping and yipping. Everyone seemed to be beeping or bipping, but it wasn't enough, all this ruckus and roar. He had to find someone to make him make more. He raced through each building, he searched floor to floor, and just as he left, he was getting nowhere and almost about to give up in despair. He suddenly burst through the door, and that man discovered one shirker quite hidden away in the Fairfax apartment 12J. A very small shirker named Jojo was standing and bouncing a yo-yo, no making a sound, not a yip, not a chirp. And the mayor rushed inside and grabbed the young twerp. He climbed with the lad up the Eiffelberg Tower. This, cried the mayor, is your town's darkest hour. The time for all who have blood that is red to come to the age of their country, he said. We've got to make noise in greater amounts, so open your mouth, lad, for every voice counts. Thus he spoke. As he climbed, when they got to the top, the lad cleared his throat and shouted, yeah! And that yacht, that one extra small yacht, put it over, finally at last from that speck on their clothing. Their voices were heard, they ran out clear and clean, and the elephant smiled. Do you see what I mean? They've proven they are persons no matter how small, and their whole world was saved by the smallest of all. How true, yes, how true, said the big kangaroo. And from now on, you know what I'm planning to do? From now on, I'm going to protect them with you. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, me too. From sun in the summer, from rain when it's fallish, I'm going to protect them, no matter how smallish. Horton Hears a Who. L.I.F.T Tutoring. We did it. Like and subscribe. Push that like button. That subscribe button. Like button's down there. Subscribe. We will catch you in the next video.